constellation is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words. Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
My boy. I've lost my boy. Should be me buried in the ground. All I ever wanted to do was protect him.
I thought maybe I would come up with
he was out the door as soon as he could. Away from his mother, away from Aquila,
nothing.
away from me.
So, instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago.
Hey,
Is God real?
how are you holding up?
The more proper question would be, is reality divine?
It's not really going to hit me until later. Right now, I just need everyone else to be okay. Just don't forget to take time for yourself, okay? Plenty of rooms if you need to sit down and be alone for a while. We'll get through this. It might feel like everything's falling apart, but that's why we need to stick together.
So pure that it may only be understood as primordial.
Anytime.
Divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind. But what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything?
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend is gone. There's no afterlife, or second meetings. No God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending for him. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from all this. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down, decomposes, gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere, we are simply carried away by space and time until we sizzle in a distant sun's corona or get pulled in some gravitational field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable? The thought that after I die, the universe is just going to stand still forever. Could you imagine? The fact is that the universe goes on, that life goes on, that things do not just sit still. That right there is the comfort that I need. Yeah, we die, and some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care. Not because it's evil, but because it's infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity? Even if it's just for a short while. Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here together.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well... You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but... Yes. Won't we all? Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. Good. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
You know, what you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion. Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more. I don't remember. I'm sure I did. I thought when the funeral was over, when everyone went home that night, that it was over. Turns out, sometimes you need more than that. They're always hard. Always. And it's okay to sob, to yell, to go to sleep, do whatever it takes. As long as your grief doesn't cause more grief for yourself or anybody else, it's okay. Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs, or a piece of jewelry they gave you, half-jokingly. Theoretically, of course. Nope, not even for a moment. Funerals are there to remind survivors that they aren't alone. The dead have already finished their part in our story. You're welcome.
Let's chat.
Hi. No. And don't keep asking. I'm not gonna be, alright? Everything's worse now. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Huh. Are we supposed to feel better? Just because we're all in one place? It's just... it doesn't change anything, does it? I just feel like I want to be a million light years away from everyone. I want to be alone for a while, okay?
You one of Sam's constellation people? Lillian Hart. He probably never mentioned me. I mean, I try not to talk about him, so... Oh, I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. Cora's mother, Sam's ex. God, I'm rambling. Look, I don't know who I should speak to about this, but Cora and I talked, and she's coming to live with me. That's a generous offer. But I've wanted more time with my daughter for years. Not under circumstances like this. But it's best she's with family. We'll be leaving soon. So say your goodbyes to her, if you like.
Hi again.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. I...
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data, so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel, as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. It will take some time to adapt, but it will be okay. How was that? I will note that feedback for later.
Don't have any other advice to add at the moment. Don't drown too much in all this despair. Life moves on. We're the ones who end up standing still.